Happy New Year, everyone! I'm very glad to have seen my channel reach 1,000 subscribers on Christmas Eve, the most unique Christmas gift I've received so far. I want to thank all of you who subscribed to my channel, and I'd like to let you know that I value every person behind each digit, where there's always a human being with feelings, emotions, and struggles. I'll never forget that, and continue to make videos that you want. I noticed that most of you were keen to know about the setups and the maintenance works I've done over the years. I'll focus on these topics in some of my forthcoming episodes. In particular, I'd like to share with you today how I've kept my sandbed clean and white without the need to actually take care of it in person. Before stepping into the topic, I would like to give you some updates on the recent development of the tank. While this acan came home with just 5 heads, it has doubled the number over the past months and started to evolve into a colony. This acropora is branching rapidly. The branches in light green are newly grown and can be easily identified. The mechanism of how acroporas prioritize growing branches is still a mystery. This acropora has also seen substantial growth in the past month, distinguished by the twigs in light purple. The blue acropora on the left is shooting branches out all around, and may attack the green one on the right in a couple of months. I might have to frag it before they inevitably fight. The green star polyps have been growing with wild exuberance and have recently encrusted onto another nearby live rock. This red bubble tip anemone has doubled its size and the number of polyps in the past 3 months and is able to compete with the green anemone to host the clownfish while it is open. Meanwhile, the green anemone has already outgrown the tank to be ready to frag. Back to today's topic. It is usually difficult to maintain a clean sandbed free of algae and detritus in early stages of the tank. Reliance on any single method alone is typically not enough. To maintain an immaculate sand surface without hassle, a combination of strategies has to be deployed jointly once and for all. Here are the secrets. First of all, an algae reactor will help you manage nutrient levels automatically in a balanced way. Algae of different types adjust their growth rate according to different nutrient composition. You will see bloom of nuisance algae at the beginning of the cycle. When you take them out of the algae reactor, you take away the unwanted nutrients as well. As the algae reactor provides the optimal condition for algae to grow and to compete for nutrients, they will rarely grow elsewhere. You don't have to introduce any algae to the reactor. They will automatically grow when conditions are met, as there are plenty of seeds in the water column. Algae of greenish colors will flourish at later stages of the cycle, by which time you'll also see anywhere on the live rocks the proliferation of coralline algae, the type of algae most reefers prefer to culture. I run algae reactors 7/24 and clean them every other month. You may need to clean them more frequently if you are at the early stages of the cycle. The nice thing about algae reactor is the ultimate balance of nutrients mix that mechanical carbon dosing will never bring you. As a side note, carbon overdosing will cause dino bloom, the pink filaments that feed on carbon source and can grow without photosynthesis. Besides, yellow tans tend to develop red streaks on their bodies if they are exposed to no-pox over and over again. Algae reactor alone may not be enough to keep your sandbed clean. You need to hire the right cleanup crew as well. In most cases, the brown slime on the surface of the sandbed is cyanose. They are tasty food for some crustaceans and echinoderms. Sea cucumbers have a reputation that is second to none in sand cleaners. They usually come out at night, taking sand and digest any organic material they find and excrete white sand in return. This is a tiger tail, a kind of sea cucumbers living in a rock crevice. It usually stays near its home and rarely goes elsewhere. If you have a large tank, you may wish to choose a black cucumber instead. It goes everywhere in the tank and sifts sand efficiently. Moreover, its old skin after molting provides livelihood for bottom-feeding fish such as gobies. Based on my personal experience, sea cucumbers are not afraid of corals or anemones with stinging capabilities, nor do they dread crustaceans. They are able to protect themselves pretty well and never poison the tank. In addition to sea cucumbers, blue-leg hermit crabs are another useful addition to the tank. They are cyano killers and eat other detritus too, such as fish poos. They effectively decompose the fish poo on the sandbed into smaller particles, which are in turn blown up by the wave makers to enter the overflow. You may need 10 to 20 hermits for a 70-gallon to help you keep your sandbed clean from time to time. Although turbo snails and sea urchins are great algae eaters too, they rarely clean the sand spontaneously unless you put them on it. Instead, they're skilled cleanup crew that help you keep live rocks and back glass free of algae. Of all the nuisance algae that take hold in a saltwater aquarium, green hair algae probably cause aquarists more consternation than any other. There are very few creatures that are born to feed on GTA. Tuxedo urchin and lawnmower blenny will occasionally eat them, if and only if they are extremely hungry and there are no alternative food sources. If you have a GTA outbreak, make sure you action as soon as possible. Use algae reactor to control nutrient levels, create less intense lighting conditions, and introduce algae eaters to the tank without overfeeding them. With these measures in place, you can expect to have a white sand bed without the need to manually maintain it. The system will automatically function to keep algae and detritus away from your site. Finally, there are two types of sand-sifting creatures that I would not recommend, namely diamond goby and sand-sifting starfish. As these are carnivores, they usually stir the sand without actually digesting the organic substance they are in. When the algae die, they release the nutrients back to the water column. To make things worse, diamond goby will move the sand to unwanted places all the time, hence causing unnecessary overhead in tank maintenance. These are some of the rules that I found useful in keeping the sand clean and at the same time labor saving. But let me know what are some of your favorite rules in reef keeping. I'd love to see that. Post in the comments below. I will see you there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to get the latest updates, and thanks for watching.